As a form of street art, a Los Angeles-based Frenchman, Thierry Guetta, followed and filmed the most interesting progressive street artists such as Banksy and Shepard Fairey, whose street art can be seen around the world. Thierry's obsession for filming was sparked when he lost his mother at a young age. He has since then decided to capture his life's moments through a camcorder to make sure the few moments he has on Earth are recorded. Thierry and those he followed experienced an addicting adrenaline rush of performing this illegal art. From cameraman to an artist, he was transformed with the help of his street art clique into an art phenomenon. He was given the name Mr. Brainwash. The first little bit of this documentary is focusing on the underground culture of street artists. It focuses on what art means and the passion behind their work and explaining why these artists do what they do. This explains how every artist expresses their personal story in different ways. Thierry believes strongly that these pieces of art need to be captured on tape, as they are often washed away or removed before a majority of people can enjoy them. The film examines the motivations behind street art and challenges people's views that is just vandalism. Shots of events from Thierry's life develop an emotional connection between him and the viewer, which helps to legitimize what are essentially crimes. The last portion of this movie is when Thierry turns into an artist himself. People start calling Thierry names about how odd he is. As street art becomes more and more popular, the question of the definition of art is asked. Who decides what good art is? And why is some art more valuable than others? As the end nears, it really seems that the documentary is challenging public perceptions of art and the art scene. Thierry makes millions of dollars entirely from the work of others and in spite of himself, simply by offering unusual commentary on his creations. The real street artist featured early in the movie that Thierry videotaped openly questioned the idiots who brought into the whole ordeal. Thierry is a true example of showing how if you are passionate about something, then you should follow your dreams. He loved art, and that is why he started filming artists. He started his own art, and despite that many people called him Mr. Brainwash, incompetent, stupid, and messed up, he was able to overcome the people's words and opened up a shot that turned into a very much success.
Now that we heard the summary of the film Exit Through the Gift Shop, I will now transition into how this relates into our class studies. Creative art is not effortless, and it does not come out of the blue. The film Exit Through the Gift Shop demonstrates a creative process that is easily relatable to the concepts and processes of creativity that we learned in class. Let's start off with the concept of forward incrementation. A creative product might simply build on what we've already done without changing the basic direction in which the field has already been moving. Thierry provides us with an excellent example of this. He was able to take a creative product from other famous street artists and change it ever so slightly in order to make a profitable business without drastically changing where the street art field was already heading. Now let's dive a little further into how Thierry did it. Thierry used antecedents, the adoption and extension of already existing ideas. At the end of the film, Thierry explained to the audience regarding how he felt like a nobody at one point in his life. But from nothing, he was able to become a well-known artist. He learned from the antecedents all around him, including years spent filming other well-known street artists like Banksy, Shepard Fairey, Space Invader, and many more. This laid out a base for Thierry to dabble into street art himself, like putting up transparent stickers and large posters of himself holding a camera. Again, he built on this to start his street art business, and from here was inspired to have an art show, just like the famous Banksy. In summary, even though some may argue that Thierry is not a creative guy, he used his own creative process to make something not only for himself, but others. He built upon the things he knew little about and expanded upon them. And so, because Thierry did not drastically redirect the street art field, it made it very easy for people to accept him as a new creative artist without much question.
Years ago, there was a little girl named Sally. She was full of excitement, courageous, and always up for a challenge. For being such a young age, people could not believe some of the big dreams she had. In every situation, Sally always seemed to be the one that was a little different from everyone else, as she would be the one always thinking bigger. When Sally turned 16, she got her very first job at the local jewelry shop called Jewels Limited. Before she left for work the first day, even her parents sat her down to give her a talk. the parents said to her, "Now look, Sally, we know you always are full of ideas and are extremely excited to start this job. But before you will have any say in that place, you have to show your worth by working hard. Good luck, sweetie, and have fun. We cannot wait to hear how your first day goes." So there goes little Sally. She takes off for her first day of work, remembering what her parents had just told her. Sally then met her boss, Roy Stanley Jr. He seemed to be very nice and always able to show her around and show her what her job would consist of. It wasn't even noon yet, and Sally came running to her boys, saying, Roy, this jewelry is a total hit. Everyone that comes into the store absolutely loves your product." Roy says, "Yes, Sally, I know that. Is that why you came running all the way over here, just to tell me that?" Sally continues, "Well, no, Roy, I think you're undermining how great of a product you have. I just don't understand why you're only selling this jewelry locally. This business could be on a national platform. Oh, just imagine how great that would be. All it would take is some hard work. I can even help make this happen. I can't believe that you aren't trying to make this company Canadian-wide." Roy replies, "Ha ha ha! Oh, little girl, you have so much to learn about business. It is not that simple. Now continue on working and never bring up this crazy idea to me ever again." Sally went back to the front counter, feeling defeated. She could not understand why he would say that to her. Sure, she was only 16, but Sally did not see how that had anything to do with it. Sally got home and sat down with her parents. The parents continue, "Sally, how'd it go? Was it everything that you imagined it would be?" Sally explains what had happened on her first day, and her parents replied, "Oh, Sally, what did we tell you? You cannot go into anywhere with your big ideas, especially on your first day. We understand that you believe that you have great ideas, but no one is going to listen until you are a bit older and have some more experience. We are sorry this had to happen to you. It is great that your mind works in creative ways, but timing is everything too." Sally learned from that experience and made a goal to eventually make Jewels Inc. a national business and to prove everyone that it is possible. Holding on to that conversation with her parents, she went to work every day and did not let anyone's discouragement drag her down. Years had passed, and Roy had retired, and he decided to sell the company to Sally. Roy says, "I am giving you this opportunity because of your commitment and hard work in this company. Over the past 10 years, you have shown a great deal of enthusiasm for this company, and there is no one I'd rather pass this business on to. Your creative ideas are going to take you far, kid. Now make us proud." And Sally did just that. After taking over the company, Sally started opening different shops in Saskatchewan. After one province had been achieved, she would take on another and another. Eventually, she had Jewels Inc. plastered all over the country. No one could believe it. Sally went from a little, determined sales clerk to a multi-million-dollar business owner who is winning awards for her courageous and creative acts. Just like Terry, Sally used her years of experience to creatively build a platform that had millions of dollars even after everyone thought they were crazy and it would never work.
Now, you're wondering, how does Terry's use of creativity relate to me? Well, there are many cases within the classroom and even in the workforce that this topic can relate to. First example would be the plane activity we had done in class. This relates to real life situations because we were all asked to partner up with someone and build a plane. Some people chose to use the common methods of making one, and some added a different procedure to make them. Regardless of the technique, everyone was able to bring their experience and technique ideas to the table. Example 2. Imagine studying in a class that you recently failed the previous semester. You have your notes and that you're using to hope to pass this class, but imagine you taking those notes, revamping them, and then adding new knowledge you got from the new teacher teaching the class. This way you are able to take your old knowledge, use your experience of what you did and didn't work last semester, and add a different way of studying for the class. This way you're able to be successful regardless of those who might think you're strange for retaking the class you already failed. Example 3 would be, imagine you move away from your parents and have to learn how to cook for yourself. Luckily, your mother gives you a copy of the recipes she uses, but you wish to add some flavor to the food she makes. You end up putting your unique ideas while building on your mother's experience of cooking. The fourth example would be to sit back and think about your everyday work tasks. Can you improve some of the tasks by reducing, removing, or adding a process? Can some of the less exciting tasks be made more interesting? Perhaps you can make a game out of it. Time how long it takes you to do tasks and see if you can do it faster and beat your own record the next time. The last example, you are part of Unilever, a globally active organization that owns many of the products we love, such as Dove, St. Ives, Ben & Jerry's, etc. However, your marketing director asks you to find a new way to market St. Ives to the public. This way, you're able to add your experience and your unique way of creativity to the way this company chooses to market their product. In conclusion, these examples aren't just limited to the artistic mind. After all, creativity isn't only narrowed to a certain group of people. It is for those who wish to take an idea, whether new or already existing, and use their own voice of creativity to look at a problem or a solution from the fresh perspective that suggests unorthodox solutions to the way everyone thinks things should be done. The reality is that Terry's situation is relevant to our everyday lives. You do not need to be an artist to apply the many concepts of this video to your life. Terry wasn't afraid to step out of the lines of street art. He used the odd behavior that so many criticized to create his own version of what street was to him. Experiences grow as you progress with the things you are most creative with. You should take those experiences and use it to better yourself. Not only do these experiences help you grow as an individual, but they also help with the way you treat creative approaches in the world.